Okay. So let's see here. This is an illustration of a text. This is from Interchange book, book 2, Interchange 2, 5th edition by Jack C. Richard. I really love Jack C. Richard's books, especially for students' book or teachers' book, because the contents of the book are really put in such consideration that can be easily delivered by teachers, and it is presented really smoothly, really well, to make the students learn English in every aspect and in every skill, like listening, speaking, reading, and writing. I believe that Jack C. Richard has managed his research for decades in creating such books, yeah, for learning English. One of the book is Interchange, other books like Passages and more. So I'm going to use one of these texts from his book. Now, imagine if you were a teacher. Well, you are, some of you are teachers. Now, imagine if you were the teacher to teach this text, to present this text in your class. Bayangkan dulu ya, how would you present it? Bagaimana cara menyajikan belajar reading ya, materinya reading gitu. In the previous class, you have given them about the grammar, the listening activities, and also other activities. So this is like the last part of the lesson. Ini bagian terakhir dari pelajaran ya. And it is reading the world's happiest cities. Saya mau collect opinion from you. How do you present this type of text in your class? Kira-kira gimana ngajarnya? Coba boleh share dong. Silakan, open mic-nya. Silakan open mic-nya, teman-teman. Gimana share? Coba mau memberikan text reading ini sebagai aktivitas membaca. Kira-kira pertama apa? What are you going to do first, then next? Kira-kira diapain ini teksnya?
Probably meminta siswa untuk baca bergantian, ma'am.
Oh, oke, boleh. So you will ask students, if the students in your class is around 40 students or 30, it's like a big class, how would you manage it? Kira-kira bagi ini gimana?
We'll ask them to read first, give a few minutes.
Silently or read out loud?
Silently, if it's more than 30.
Okay. Okay, so we'll ask them to read. Would you give them pre-reading activities like maybe vocabulary enhancement?
Yes.
What are you going to do with this vocabulary exercise or practice? Gimana nih? How are you gonna deliver the vocabulary practice?
Find the words that in common for them or unlocked words.
Or what? Sorry?
Unlocked words, unlocked. The words that they don't understand or they just met.
Unlock. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, then you go straight to reading activity. Ask them to read it, to read the text quietly.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we'll go back to this text later. I'm going to go to the next slide. So reading itself is crucial for language learners because it helps them improve various skills, various aspects of language skills. For instance, reading helps with vocabulary acquisition, ya, pemerolehan pengayaan kosakata, spelling and writing. It also enhances comprehension skills, critical thinking, and even boosts creativity. And reading engage students with different topics and ideas, which stimulates discussion and personal responses. How come? Kok bisa dari sekedar teks? Biasanya kan reading text is like a passive activity. How come a how come a passive activity turn into or stimulates an active discussion and personal response? This is something that we need to think about. So, through exposure to authentic language, students learn to understand and structure and nuances of English in context, which leads to better language retention and improved fluency. Jadi kalau boleh saya ulang lagi ya, pentingnya membaca itu kan pertama improve language skills, vocabulary ya, and then it enhances comprehension and critical thinking, it stimulates discussion and personal response, especially if the topic makes the students interested, and it also encourages language acquisition and immersion. This is why it is very important to use authentic language in your resources. Jadi you use the writing text authentically from, let's say, from English magazine or newspaper or English books. So that is what we call authentic. Now, the types of reading. How many types are there? So I'm going to introduce you. Perhaps you already know these types of reading. The first one is extensive reading. As the name suggests, extensive reading refers to reading that students do for pleasure outside the classroom, such as novels, articles, blog, social media posts. So this kind of reading helps students build fluency and develop a love for reading. But again, this is, of course, based on everyone's interest. One person might like reading, but the others might not like reading. So extensive reading allowing students to choose types of text that they like to keep them motivated and engaged. So this is when you as teachers how to encourage the students to keep reading outside the classrooms. And then another one is intensive reading. So it is a more focused or in-depth type of reading. Jadi jenis reading yang cukup mendalam yang dibahas di ruang kelas. It involves analyzing language, such as grammar, vocabulary, and meaning. And students concentrate on grammar or specific language points within the text. So this type of reading is essential for developing analytical reading skills, which can help with the language mastery and writing as well. Now, there are some essential reading skills. The first one is scanning. Perhaps you have a scanner at home, as the name suggests, sesuai dengan namanya ya, scanning. So scanning is a reading skill, salah satu skill membaca cepat ya, a quick reading skill, where students look for specific information in a text without reading every word. Nah, gimana tuh? Jadi ini salah satu skill membaca cepat untuk mencari informasi tanpa membaca tiap kata. Jadi, for example, finding a phone number, looking for names in a text. So teach your students like yourself as a scanner. For example, if you need to find such detailed information, use this detailed information or the word that you need to find as the keyword, and then scan the text like that, scan the text and find the word that is needed, like numbers, names, for colors or specific ideas. So it's a useful skill for quickly gathering key information without getting bogged down in unnecessary details. Itu namanya scanning ya. Another one is skimming. So skimming involves quickly reading over a text to get the general idea of what it's about. Unlike scanning, it focuses on certain words or detailed information, not detail, sorry, certain or specific words that you need to find, like numbers, names. But skimming, you need to read a text to find the general idea or the gist, gitu ya, intinya gitu, the main idea. So this might be used when students read headlines, reviews, or summaries to understand the main points. It's a time-efficient way to grasp the text overall meaning without going into details. That's skimming. So both are skills in reading, quick reading that you need. It depends on the purpose of the reading. But these two skills are very essential to teach to your students. And the last one, detailed comprehension. So detailed comprehension is when students read carefully to understand all aspects of the text, including key arguments, structure, and specific vocabulary. This skill is necessary for more complex reading where students need a full understanding of what is being conveyed, such as in reading comprehension tests like in TOEFL. In TOEFL or TOEIC itself, there are several reading texts or passages and provided with different types of question. Jadi jenis pertanyaannya itu ada yang butuh scanning ketika kita butuh detail, bukan detail, sorry, spesifik nama gitu ya, angka-angka gitu. Nah itu pakainya scanning. Tapi kalau butuh main idea itu cukup skimming, itu baca di awal dan di akhir. Read at the beginning of the paragraph and at the end of the paragraph. Then you will get the general ideas of the paragraph. But sometimes you need to find detailed information, how something happened like that. So you need to read carefully in certain area. So these three skills are very essential for students to know how to do it. Sampai sini ada pertanyaan? So far any question? Silakan, saya kasih waktu dulu beberapa detik untuk bertanya. Silakan teman-teman, ada 7 orang di sini, jangan diam saja, nanti saya doang yang ngomong. Boleh diberi pertanyaan. Or comment perhaps.
So, ma'am, regarding the previous question about vocabulary, as the students to read the vocabulary, so it's like skimming, yeah, ma'am, or
Scanning, skimming. It depends on what you need to look for. If you need to look for the general idea or the main idea, the skill is skimming. This one. For example, you need to understand what is the main idea of a paragraph. So you need to read the text through skimming skill. Biasanya kalau paragraf itu main idenya ada di awal atau di akhir. So it is better for you to read the beginning and the end of each paragraph to get the main idea. Begitu. But if you need to look for specific answers, words or vocabulary, it depends on the question. If you need vocabulary in details, you use the detailed comprehension. Misalnya gini, kalau ada pertanyaan, what does this word mean? Ya, what does this word mean? What does playful mean in this passage? Misalnya seperti itu ada pertanyaan. Nah, yang jadi kata kuncinya pasti playful ya. Ya kan? Kemudian kita cari di teksnya, we look for in the text that word. Nah, that's how you use scanning. So you scan the text, looking for the word playful. like scanner. Until you find it, then you read the content of the sentence that the word is there, and you read the sentence or the paragraph not specifically in details to get what it means. So you use scanning and also skimming and also detailed comprehension at the same time. Scanning is to find the word that you need to read. Ya kan tadi butuh kata playful, Anda scan, kalau udah ketemu, diapain? Dibaca konteksnya apa? Konteks dari kalimat yang ada kata playful ini. Nah, ini bisa dengan cara skimming. Tapi kemudian itu untuk dapat general idea-nya. Tapi kalau butuh seperti detail, ciri-cirinya playful itu apa gitu. Nah, itu masuk ke detailed comprehension, dibaca kata per kata di sekitar kata playful tersebut. Gitu loh. Oke,
Oh, I
Pauline?
see. Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Suara saya makin hilang. So sorry. Bentar, saya izin minum dulu ya. Give me 30 seconds. In the meantime, think about it, and if you have question, don't hesitate to ask. Okay, I'm waiting for the delivery of the water. Let's continue. Tapi suara saya kedengeran jelas nggak ke situ? Atau terputus-putus?
Clear.
Okay. Okay, now we go on to reading principles here. Right. The first one here is, it is important to encourage reading as often and as much as possible. It means that the more exposure students have to reading, the better their language skills develop. Incorporate regular reading activities inside and outside the classroom. Jadi exposure itu to give as much as possible the chance for student or the opportunity for student to experience themselves reading the authentic text, authentic language. Engage students with text that match their interest. This is also very important to choose materials relevant to students' personal interests, hobbies, or career goals. It depends on your student's age and levels. So it is highly unlikely successful if you give a text that is so uninterested for certain group of students, like you give a political issue text to a teens, for example, early teens. Perhaps when you give the text about how to cope with pimples, ya, ngomongin jerawat gitu ya, or idols, even though you're not really into the topic, you have to make it, you have to be in their world, I mean. Many teenagers really love to talk about Korean idols, for example. It is preferable, or it's not that bad if you keep up with the news, what makes the students, especially the teens, interested. And then the third is focus on the meaning of text. Focus on the meaning of text, not just their structure. Maksudnya gimana nih? So while it's important to study language structure, structure, grammar, and vocabulary, emphasize the meaning and message of the text. Okay? Emphasize the meaning and message of the text. Encourage students to reflect on what the next means to them personally and how it connects to their lives. Jadi dibikin personalized gitu ya ke siswanya. Ask them how they feel or what are their thoughts about what they just read, for example. So when you foster emotional and intellectual connection to the reading material, it will give them retention to the lesson. Jadi lebih gampang nempelnya gitu, lebih lama nempelnya. Next is encourage prediction based on headlines, images, and titles. So before reading, encourage students to make prediction based on the title, images, or key vocabulary. Use this prediction to engage students' curiosity and involve them in the process of active reading. Prediction exercises prepare students to think critically about the text and its content. Misalnya kayak apa nih predictionnya? You can ask them by showing them the picture of the illustration of the text and ask them to guess what they're going to read, or you can ask them by matching the pictures with the text, or you can ask them the pre-reading questions that are related to the text. Okay, and then next is fully match reading test to the text difficulty and topic. So you design tasks that are suitable for the students' reading level. Jadi tetap pertimbangkan usia, ya, consider the age and consider the level of difficulties. And then create a variety of tasks, such as comprehension question, discussion prompts, vocabulary exercises, and creative responses. And then fully exploit the reading text with additional activities. Jadi, don't just stop at reading. Jadi jangan berhenti di aktivitas readingnya. Use the text as a springboard. Seperti papan lompat tuh yang bisa membal ya. Use the text as a springboard for other language activities such as discussion, debates, apalagi coba yang bisa. Kira-kira aktivitas apa lagi sih setelah reading itu? Dan bisa juga role play ya, misalnya membaca, for example, you read a text about restaurant reviews, gitu kan. Habis itu bisa role play antara waiter sama customers, and also customers who make reviews like YouTube content creator, kayak like mukbang gitu ya. Jadi bisa bikin role play tuh. Use the text to explore new vocabulary, sentence structures, and writing style. Jadi nggak hanya berhenti di aktivitas membaca, reading, and then what is the meaning of this word in Bahasa Indonesia? Answer this question, and then stop. No, it's not that only. You can expand the activity to more a variety of activities, countless activities ya. Banyak lagi aktivitasnya seperti itu. Sampai sini bisa dipahami kah? Teman-teman semua?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for responding. Soalnya kalau saya ngomongnya berasa sepi gitu, diem. Okay, so now here are some practical activities for teaching reading. Apa aja sih gitu? Dari tadi kan teori ya. We can have jigsaw reading. Ada jigsaw reading, ada puzzle reading, mirip-mirip. Bedanya tipis sih. So, seperti tadi kan ada teks yang tadi saya tunjukkan in our class, in the previous slide, second slide, I show you a text. Nah itu you can cut the paragraph. Let's just say nanti saya satu-satu deh ya. I'm going to explain it later for jigsaw reading and each one. So here are the practical activities for our teaching reading. Nah, saya bahas jigsaw reading dulu ya. In this activity, students are divided into groups. Ya, students are divided into groups, and each group reads a different part of the same story or different perspective on an issue. So you provide, let's say, an article that consists of several paragraphs, or even several articles which consist of similar issue, similar or they share the same ideas of the topic. Ya, jadi idenya sama gitu. So you divided the students into several groups, and each group reads a different part of one text or article or they read a different story but share similar ideas. After reading, nah ngapain nih after reading? After reading, groups they come together to share the information they have learned and reconstruct the whole narrative. I have tried this several times, and it is not a boring activity compared to the traditional reading activities. Jadi ini menarik gitu buat siswanya. Why? Because they not only read the text but also there's movement. Ada kinestetiknya juga ya. The students, involve movement of the students. So how? So in each group after they read, you mix the students with the different paragraph that have shared earlier. For example, group 1 read paragraph 1, group 2 read paragraph 2, group 3 read paragraph 3, and so on. And then you break the group again and then combine the new group that consists of each paragraph, and each person will tell what they get from the text they read. Paham nggak? Paham nggak maksudnya jigsaw reading nih? Do you understand how it works? Apa
Sorry,
perlu saya
Miss, can
jelaskan?
you repeat again?
Oke, jadi jigsaw reading ini kan, misalnya Anda punya 10 siswa ya. Ini grup banyak, bahkan 30 siswa pun bisa gitu. Menarik, dan mereka tuh selalu senang aktivitas ini karena tidak hanya melibatkan membaca, tapi mereka juga terlibat secara kinestetik gitu ya, ada gerak, ini nggak bosen diam di kursi gitu. Misalnya ada 10 anak atau 20 nggak masalah ya, misal 20 lah ya, 20 anak kita bagi menjadi 5 kelompok. Berarti satu kelompok ada berapa? 4 anak atau lebih ya. Nggak apa-apa kalau misalnya ada yang double, ganjil, nggak apa-apa gitu. Nah, Anda bagi teks menjadi jumlah kelompok itu. Cari teks yang jumlah paragrafnya, misal tadi dibagi 5 kelompok. Berarti teksnya Anda bagi menjadi 5 pieces gitu ya. Misal 5 paragraf, berarti satu kelompok, satu paragraf. Suruh baca tuh mereka dalam satu kelompok. They read in their own group, and they may read it and share it their opinion about the text. So the skill is not only reading but also speaking. So after they reading, they share what they think about the article, or they can retell the story about the article. And when it's done, you break again the group. Kelompoknya itu dipisah. Jadi satu kelompok yang memiliki paragraf 1, satu kelompok 2 yang paragraf 2, dan seterusnya. Itu dipisah lagi. Jadi satu kelompok itu berisi dari anak-anak yang membaca paragraf yang berbeda-beda. So one group, you make the new group, and this group consists of a student who reads paragraph 1, a student who reads paragraph 2, a student who reads paragraph 3, and so on until paragraph 4 or 5. So here's in another group, in a new group, the new group that you just form will have different members who just read different paragraphs. Nah, sampai sini kan jadi satu kelompok ini mereka udah terdiri dari anak-anak yang baca paragrafnya beda-beda. Then mereka berbagi tuh, ceritakan tadi baca apa sih? Oh, tadi saya baca begini gini gini. Silakan yang dari kelompok 2 tadi baca apa? Jadi misalnya anak yang baca di paragraf 1 di kelompok 1 itu nanti ada yang mencar-mencar juga, di kelompok 2 juga ada mencar-mencar gitu. Jadi tetap 5 kelompok, cuma isinya anak-anaknya, anggotanya udah campuran dari paragraf lain. Therefore, they can share what they read and the others will listen to it. So they come together to share the information they have learned. Setelah itu Anda bisa sediakan mind map yang kosong, empty mind map, and ask the new group, the reform group to complete the mind map. Tadi paragraf 1 itu tentang apa, paragraf 2 tentang apa, paragraf tentang apa, and then they can present it in front of the class. Seperti itu. The purpose is to encourage collaboration and communication. Jadi bacanya nggak baca satu orang tuh, tiap orang semua baca dari paragraf 1 sampai 4. Nah, itu kalau misalnya butuh lagi saat tes ya. Tapi ini bisa sebagai salah satu alternatif aktivitas, jadi nggak bosan gitu dalam teknik menyajikan pembelajaran membaca reading text. And each students play an essential role in piecing together the full narrative. Nah, kalau di sini kan ada, misalnya ada 8 orang nih ya, there are 8 people in this group. Misalnya saya bagi menjadi 2 kelompok, ya. So Rias, Diamond, and Faris dan saya kelompok 1 membaca paragraf 1. Kemudian Ren, Kalisa, Paulina, dan Rinrin kelompok 2 membaca paragraf 2. Gitu. So we read our own groups paragraph. Setelah waktunya selesai, dibagi 2 tuh. Gimana caranya biar kelompok yang baru ada anggota dari kelompok lain. Berarti misalnya nih, Paulina dan Rinrin masuk ke kelompok saya, sementara Faris dan Rias masuk ke kelompoknya Rinrin gitu, atau kelompoknya Kalisa. And then in the new group, each one of you share what you just read. And then you can discuss it, you can complete a mind map, seperti itu. Is it understood?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, ma'am.
Oke. Nah, yang
Yeah.
kedua, reading puzzle. Mirip-mirip nih, in a reading puzzle activity, the text is divided into section and mixed up. Jadi dipotong ya, you cut the paragraph and then mix up like unsolved puzzle gitu ya. And then students must reorder paragraph to form a coherent text. Nah, ini fokusnya ke cohesive and coherence. Cohesive and coherence. So one group will read whole paragraph from paragraph 1 to until 4. Unlike jigsaw reading, it's different. Jadi satu kelompok itu baca semua paragraf tapi sudah diacak, ya, sudah mix up gitu. And then the assignment is to make every group arrange the paragraphs or section of a text to form a coherent text. Jadi teksnya yang tersusun dengan koheren gitu ya, atau tersusun dengan rapi sesuai dengan urutannya. Itu juga seru tuh. Now, the variation from this, you can mix up emails or dialogues from a conversation. Ini juga bisa ya. Jadi you provide a text of conversation and then you cut up and mix up and you provide, let's say, 4 sets for 4 groups. Jadi satu set untuk satu grup. Gitu. Bisa buat kompetisi, you can give them limited time. You can give them limited time to race or compete who can solve the puzzle the first. Gitu. Itu masuk baca cepat. Setelah itu apa? Bisa juga apa namanya? Kalau misalnya Anda mau fokus ke apa tuh kata sambung ya, connecting ideas, connecting sentences, kan setiap paragraf itu biar nyambung suka ada connecting sentences ya antara paragraf satu between two paragraphs. Usually there are connecting words or connecting phrases or sentences to make each paragraph flow smoothly. Nah, ini bisa nih aktivitas seperti ini disajikan. And then you can also wait. Sampai sini ada pertanyaan nggak untuk reading puzzle sebelum masuk ke yang nomor 3?
So far not yet, ma'am.
Oke. Yang lainnya? All clear?
Clear, Miss.
Yes, clear,
All
Miss.
right. Okay, now using newspapers. You can use newspaper for the previous 2 activities tadi ya, jigsaw reading or puzzle reading, or it can be fun and engaging too with different activities like matching matching activities. Students might match headlines to articles. Nah, ini juga seru nih. But of course, you need to provide several sets of headlines and articles. And then match newspaper articles with relevant images. You can do this activity online or offline. It doesn't matter. You can provide images that you can search on Google, ya kan? Gampang gitu nyarinya. Relevant with the story or the article. compare different reports on the same event, or respond to editorials. This helps students practice real-world reading and encourage them to critically engage with media. Seperti itu. And for creative activities, you read personal advertisement or small advertisement and role play phone conversation or meeting. Bisa gitu juga ya. Untuk kelanjutannya, for follow-up activities after reading, after matching and then read, you can have role play activities related to the story from the newspaper. Or you can create an advertisement, role playing, like making advertisement or commercial for TV or radio or podcast. Just like that. Now let's go on to the next one, predicting from words and pictures. How it works. So provide students with a few keywords or phrases or images related to the text they're about to read. And then students work in groups to predict the story or theme based on these clues. So you provide some keywords and then cut it up, and then also pictures. So it's like apa itu, riddles, like riddles. Jadi kayak teka-teki gitu. So they should predict what they are going to read. After reading, they compare their predictions with the actual content. So the purpose is to activate prior knowledge and engage student in guessing and anticipation, boosting their interest in reading. Gitu. Jadi nggak langsung kasih teks suruh baca. Oke, Rin baca Rin gitu. Atau Rin baca paragraf kedua. Ada pertanyaan nggak? Ada kata-kata sulit nggak? Nggak ada, Miss. Oke, now answer the questions. That's like a traditional. It is not wrong, but if it happens many times over and over again, it will bring the boredom, and students will get more lack of interest in reading, ya. And then role play from reading text, tadi sudah saya sedikit singgung ya. Students read an extract from a play, dari sebuah drama gitu ya, or film script or conversation, and then work in pairs or groups to act it out. And they focus on pronunciation, intonation, and the meaning of the lines. Now, it is a good way to introduce them idioms. When the topic is about idioms or intonation that they need to learn, this is one of the best ways to learn about idiom or intonation. Yeah. The purpose is combines reading with speaking and help students understand tone, stress, and emotion in text. So, now, next is reconstructing stories. First, students are given a story where the ending is missing. Then, they must predict and write the ending before sharing their ideas with the class. This is for upper level ya. Untuk yang kelas baru, for beginner classes, it can be very challenging. But if you provide them vocabulary first, it is much easier. Alternatively, present the story in stages and have students predict what happened next after each stage. So you can cross out several incidents in different places. So there will be missing or a gap, missing part of the story, and ask the students to predict what happened next. And you can do this online or offline. Online, you just display a text where there are some missing lines and ask the students to write, or if it is too difficult, you can give them some options that they can choose. Okay, the purpose is to encourage creative thinking and engagement with narrative structure. Ini cocok nih yang lagi ngajarin narrative text ya. And also it develops inferencing skill. Apa itu inferencing skill? Menebak makna yang tersirat, bukan yang tersurat. Oke, sampai sini ada pertanyaan nggak? Ternyata cukup banyak kan? Sebenarnya selain dari ini banyak nggak? Banyak gitu. Tapi ini beberapa di antara yang sudah saya coba dan sangat menarik gitu untuk pembelajaran bahasa Inggris, terutama pas masuk bagian reading yang biasanya, aduh males miss, no not again gitu. I hate reading text gitu. Jadi untuk menghindari kebosanan dan apa ya, the loss of interest from the students, this variation of techniques, ini kan salah satu teknik mengajar ya, bukan salah satu, beberapa teknik mengajar that can encourage students to be more interested in reading and also encourage them to speak more after reading. Gitu, teman-teman. Coba, do you have any question or comments? Share me, what are your thoughts? Share it with me, I mean. Tell me what are your thoughts. Coba. Menurut kalian gimana? What are your thoughts about these techniques? Ini semuanya ada di depan layar kan ya? Selain Pauline, Faris, dan Adeyemi.
Ada,
Yang...
Miss.
Coba Rinrin, share dong menurut Rinrin gimana teknik yang barusan Rinrin dengar?
Yeah, I think it's one of the way to make reading more interesting, so the student not get bored about reading text.
Ya, have you ever tried anyone, bukan hanya Rinrin, yang lainnya, have you ever tried any of these techniques in your class? Or maybe you were the students who experienced these techniques. Jadi ada nggak yang pernah ngalamin sebagai guru atau sebagai murid menggunakan teknik-teknik yang tadi saya sebutkan? Ada nggak?
I ever miss as a student.
Oh, you have? Which one?
The puzzle. I think, Miss. The puzzle.
Reading puzzle ya?
Yeah.
Reading puzzle. Slide number 9. This one.
Yeah, Miss. So the lecture give us some
Unscramble.
word, like five pieces paper, and then we have to arrange where is the first, the second, like that.
Oh, you were given scrambled paragraphs, and then you were asked to unscramble them. Disuruh disusun gitu ya?
Yes, Miss.
So, how did you feel at that time?
I feel exciting because we can do it without feel any bored.
Yeah.
So we can guess and discuss with other friends which one the first and the second and else.
Yeah. And then don't forget, don't stop until matching is done. After matching, after unscramble the paragraphs, there are other follow-ups activities that can be done for students to speak up. Jadi jangan berhenti setelah disusun, udah apa nih? Ya, dari situ ada banyak aktivitas yang bisa dilanjutkan. Misalnya boleh jawab pertanyaan gitu ya, boleh diskusi, boleh juga misalnya melengkapi mind map gitu ya. Melengkapi mind map itu to complete or to fill the mind map that you already provided before class will be much easier if the students are willing to read without any force. I mean, if they are willing to read and interested to the activity compared to the activity that you just ask them to read and then translate it. It will take a long time and it will be boring. And when it's time to do another activities, the mood already not good. Gitu ya. Nah, kita kembali ke teks yang ini nih sebentar. Nah, teks yang ini ya. So, kalau dari apa namanya, dari from all the techniques that I have explained, what activities can you do from this text? Kira-kira bisa apa aja nih?
Scanning, skimming,
Yes, good. Scanning. We can do some scanning. Scanningnya scanning apa nih? What activities can you do with scanning?
like the apa? What the
Apa?
picture, I mean, the
Uh-huh.
picture
Oh,
and
okay.
the what does the mean of the sentence.
Okay. Thank you, Faris. Or yang lainnya mungkin punya ide lain untuk scanning aktivitasnya gimana nih? You can ask the students find the names of cities in this text gitu. Nah, itu kan cari kan mereka scanning, find the names of the cities. Oh, ini Miss. It's San Luis misalnya, Monterey, Singapore. Singapura kan kota dan juga negara ya. And then Aarhus Miss in Denmark. Now find misalnya lagi ya. Find names of tourist attraction misalnya kalau ada gitu. And so on. Bisa juga kalau lagi belajar tentang
The word with
word.
Miss.
Yes, Pauline?
Find the words with the beginning letters of S, for example.
Yeah, that's right. You can do that too. Nah, kalau misalnya kayak gini nih. Skim the article. Which of the following things does it mention? Transportation, natural areas, safety, entertainment, schools, and housing. Kalau yang diminta skim bukan scan, berarti kata-kata ini kemungkinan tidak tertulis secara harfiah gitu ya. So you need to summarize, to conclude by yourself which paragraph that mention about these words. So you can ask your student to read quickly which paragraph, which article that mention about these ones, these words. Itu kan mereka baca tuh. Oh, ini tentang transportation yang lebih menonjol. That appeals more about transportation is in Singapore, for example, like that. And the next, you can match the paragraphs from A to D to the pictures 1 to 4. You can ask them because these pictures are not put in order to the article given here. Di mereka suruh ini nih matching nih. Otomatis harus dibaca ya enggak? Automatically they must read the article to find the right picture for each article. Gitu. But it is better if you provide previously some vocabularies that you think will be trouble for students. Usually teachers know what words are new for their students. Kecuali kalau murid baru ya. Now you can as teachers you can predict which words that in this article that will the students find them difficult. Kira-kira si siswa tuh nganggapnya sulit nih. Nah, itu diperkenalkan, you can introduce the vocabulary first by matching the words with definition and example. For example, misalnya kata-kata di sini forest itu apa atau kata lain di sini misalnya ada kata healthcare. Nah, healthcare Anda Susun tuh beberapa kata yang dianggap sulit di sini dengan definisinya dan minta siswa untuk menjodohkannya gitu ya, or matching the definition with the vocabularies and then discuss it together. Yang benarnya apa gitu ya, bareng-bareng. Then you go to this activity, read the article, match the paragraphs to the pictures. And then you can also provide comments here like this. Nah, there are 8 comments. You create the statement as if, seolah-olah gitu ya. Ada yang nulis komen di bawah artikelnya, and ask the students to read the comments from the residents of each place of these 4 cities, and ask them to find the city that they think the writer or the person who will write the comments live. Jadi mereka suruh nyari nih penulis komennya tinggal di mana gitu kira-kira. And then for the follow-up activity, you can have the students to do some pair work. For example, what sentences in part C are true for you? Maksudnya sesuai dengan kondisi siswa di kotanya gitu. Find true for you and your city or town. How would you improve the place where you live? Jadi ini kan tentang 4 kota terbahagia, the happiest cities in the world. So when they read these statements and they feel it's related to what they experience in their own life, in their own city, they will share it and ask them to give some suggestion. How would they improve the city they live? Gitu. Jadilah mereka diskusi dan speaking. So the conclusion is, the summary of key strategies: use diverse reading materials, focus on building essential reading skill like scanning, skimming, detailed comprehension. Nah, yang barusan activity itu kena semua tuh, ada scanning, skimming, detailnya ada. Apply practical reading activities to engage students and encourage personal interaction and creativity with text. Nah, ini penting nih, encourage personal interaction. Jadi mereka merasa relate, dan akhirnya kalau setiap orang merasa relate itu akan lebih senang belajarnya ya. They will feel much happier when they study something related to their own personal life. So for the final note, help students develop a lifelong reading habit through varied, meaningful, and enjoyable activities. Begitu teman-teman semua. That's it. Do you have any question or comment for our lesson today? Ada enggak?
From me, no,
From
Miss.
Haris? No, okay. From Diamond, what do you think, Diamond? What are your thoughts about it? Hello, Diamond, are you there?
Hi, Miss, I'm here.
Yes, what are your thoughts?
So far, so good, actually. If I was to ask on today's topic in general, Miss, or a specific,
Yes, in reading activity.
in reading,
Yes, in reading activities.
I think in reading activities, there are a lot to it, especially when it comes to the words, the pronunciation, and everything that comes together with reading. But I think the best reading activity is to make it fun.
Yes.
Definitely to make it fun, because like you said, students or kids are very easily carried away.
Yep.
So yeah, for me, I think you just have to go around, play around when it comes to the whole reading and everything.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Diamond. Pauline, what do you think, Pauline? We have still a minute. Share your thoughts, Paulina, or your experience in teaching reading. Gimana, Pauline? Hello, Paulina, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Come on.
Sorry, ma'am. What is your question? Can you repeat?
What are your thoughts? Gimana gitu di pikiran atau di bayangan Paulina gitu pas dengar materi reading hari ini gitu? Punya ide lain kah? Atau mau berbagi opini tentang yang sudah disampaikan kah?
For the session today, actually, I felt like I felt happy because I got a new information about skimming reading and one more detailed comprehension, yeah, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. So only 3 of them that I think is really give me new information, ma'am. But the rest also, not only 3 of them, but the rest also.
Yeah. The point is like what I share in the conclusion that the key is to make students interested in your lesson, and also to provide resources and creativity to make the students more engaged in learning, especially in reading. Reading is quite challenge ya, cukup menantang gitu ngajar bagian reading gitu ke siswa, terutama di sekolah-sekolah umum, in public schools. Based on my own experience when I was in high schools, even though I was in one of the favorite high school in the city, but I don't think I had pretty nice experience related to reading English when it comes to English subject, because usually teachers just give an assignment from LKS, if you know LKS, lembar kerja siswa ya, LKS. It's like workbook. So the teacher just gave us exercise to do, and then suddenly the teacher was missing. Gone, I don't know where, but when the bell ring, we immediately collect our assignment to the teacher's desk, and we didn't know what happened. I mean, what just happened? We didn't get much of the skills what we need to learn from reading skill. So that's it. I hope this experience that I had in the past won't be repeated in your era. Thank you very much for today's lesson, everyone, for today's sharing. See you next week. Kita mendekati UTS ya. Nanti 2 pertemuan sebelum UTS giliran kalian yang presentasi secara kelompok.